Howdy, gangsters! It's Enigma Hood. So this video is going to be about this guy named Anthony Cumia, which some of you may have heard of. He was one half of the Opie and Anthony show, and he was fired for making some racist tweets. I could get into a whole ramble about that, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about a video that I saw where he had on a former friend of his that stopped being friends with him because of his racist behavior. And he makes some arguments, and I want to refute all of them. So let's just get right into the video.
At the core of it, I felt like it got to a point when I saw some of your tweets about Ferguson, and I saw that you had gone on that white nationalist program. I was like, okay, I'm clear. Like, we've reached a point where I so disagree with where Anthony's coming from with this stuff that it would be tough for us to even maintain a friendship.
Do you?
So I'm just gonna slide back from it, and that's the end of it. And I was like, what good? Let's say we did talk on the phone. What was it gonna do?
Well, maybe not on the phone, but yeah, going out or something would have been a good idea. But
what would have been a good idea?
Like going out for a beer, like you said, like that. Not a phone call or anything like that. Hanging out and you. I mean, we have been hanging out for a while, and like you said, we've kept it light. But was there ever an Do you think I'm a Nazi? Do you think I'm a Nazi or an anti-Semite or truly a racist that doesn't want to be around black people?
If you read his tweets and listened to the things that he has said, the answer is yes.
Do you honestly believe that?
And I never, ever, ever in a million years did believe it. But when I saw, when it got to, and this is what I said on Rogan yesterday, when it got to the point of you going on that show and then tweeting the stuff you tweeted about Ferguson, I was just like, what the fuck is Anthony doing? It was beyond anything I had ever heard you say, dude. It was beyond it.
I don't think anything I tweeted about Ferguson, by the way, was so far out there. I was tweeting an opinion on a case that hadn't even been investigated yet when they had already convicted the police officer. So I was just talking about that. I talked about the horrid behavior of some of the protesters. And then I talked about how bad, most of what I talked about was how fucked the media was for putting the circus on and playing everybody like puppets. That was my biggest argument about it. I don't think I was saying anything like, let's get the water hoses and fucking German shepherds down in Ferguson. I wasn't saying anything like that. If you've noticed over the years, whenever I've talked about racial subject matter, it's usually with a very calculated, logical, passionate, but backed up with statistics and whatnot. I don't just go off on racist tirades about let's start getting nooses and...
Okay, so he said that he backs up his statements with statistics and facts and stuff like that. This is the Bill O'Reilly tactic. It's a type of subversive racism. He's lying by omission. So, you know, we all heard this bullshit before. They bring up statistics about how blacks are disproportionately responsible for crime. But they leave out the fact that blacks are also disproportionately in poverty. And the reason for that is due to institutionalized oppression and discrimination. After slavery, slavery established a precedent, a social hierarchy, that was based upon race, and black people occupied the lowest rungs of that social hierarchy. And that effect, that place in society persists to this day. So even in the mindset of people, if you look at who are the most racist people in America, it's poor whites. Why? Because they're insecure with themselves. So in order to mitigate that poisonous self-loathing, they project it onto people that they believe are inferior to them, in this case, blacks. And that inferiority, that conception of inferiority, was created all the way back when slavery existed. And since then, there has been an institutionalized and socialized discrimination and oppression of black people. They were not even allowed to attend public school with other white kids, let alone attain higher forms of education, like attending university and things like that. Racists like him try to mitigate the oppression that they experience, that blacks experience, by comparing them to Jews or other minority groups. And I always counter that by simply saying, Einstein was a Jew that lived in Germany. But even in Germany, Einstein as a boy was able to attend Catholic school with other German boys. He was still able to attain higher forms of education after he graduated. He was able to study abroad and go to university. I believe he went to university in Switzerland or something. It doesn't matter. Those opportunities were not permitted for black people. And the deleterious effects of that oppression still persist to this day. So if you want to blame anyone for blacks being disproportionately impoverished and therefore disproportionately responsible for crime, you have no one to blame except racists such as yourself.
And shit like that. I just don't do that. Whenever I do tweet anger and words like animal and savage, it's because I'm seeing animalistic or savage behavior. And when I tweeted about that girl in Times Square that hit me, it's because she fucking hit me, Joe. That's why I was that angry about it, and that's why I used the language I did.
But you'll notice that his anger and his rage is not objective. It's always directed at a particular group, black people. It consistently is directed at black people. So when you are consistently directing that anger and that rage at black people, that betrays your motives. It indicates what you are, a racist.
She was acting like a fucking uncaged animal, and that's what I called her, regardless of her fucking race. But people like you and Kindler and a bunch of other liberals just see more color than I ever do.
By the way, the only thing that this asshole has in common with other conservatives is, one, he is pro-Second Amendment, which I am too, and two, he's a bigot.
And say, well, she's black, he's white, he used the word animal, racist, and then it goes all over Gawker and the other shit sites, and then people like you and Kindler and the other liberal assholes pick it up, and I'm the fucking douchebag?
Well, you are a douchebag, but that's in addition to the fact that you're a racist.
To let me explain my side.
Ed,
yeah.
Ed, if you're gonna ask me to have more of an open mind as to assume you're racist, have the equal open mind with me. Liberal? Come on, dude. Come on, man. You're going to call me a liberal asshole now?
I'm saying...
When have I ever not taken the un-PC stance on something? When have I ever not spoken my mind and held to my opinion? Here's what's killing me about this, dude. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me respond to two things you just said. Number one, had you said, and Dino Hughley said the same fucking thing on the radio. Had you said her, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. You didn't say her. You said they. You said that community. And once this goes to that and this person turns into them, now you're speaking in massive generalities. And that's when it starts to sound racist.
No, you know what?
Okay?
Why? Okay, let me answer that because I know the context I wrote that in. When I say they, it doesn't go from her to everybody. They is more than her. It's not everybody, but it's everybody that jumps to fucking violence, which there is a propensity of in the black community.
So he's trying to explain what he means by they and them. I'll tell you what he really means by they and them. He wants to call them niggers. Sure, I'm sure he's not talking about affluent blacks or middle-class blacks even. No, he's talking about the niggers in his warped, fucked-up brain. No, look. He is talking about impoverished black people who are a consequence of the situation that they were put in. If you look at impoverished whites, They have the same propensity for violence as impoverished blacks. Black people are not more prone to violence in middle class and upper class societies. They do not commit crime at a higher rate than whites do at those upper class brackets. They simply don't. In fact, what we do find from statistics is that blacks have a much higher propensity to being arrested for drug crimes, drug-related crimes, simply drug possession. But whites actually engage in drug abuse as often, if not more, than black people.
I've talked about how community leaders, religious leaders, politicians have talked about. There's been rallies about violence in the community. We have to silence the violence. That's the they I was talking about. People that instantly jump to violence because your shoe is stepped on the subway or someone's taken a picture of you. That's the they. The they didn't include a fucking Wall Street executive, African American that I look at with a family and responsibilities and a job, and I'm going, well, fuck him too. Put him in the they category. I never fucking said or meant that. The context of what I say has been twisted around. It makes me fucking nauseous.
Honestly, it sounds like such a cop-out. He clearly is racist. He clearly has a bias against black people, and it almost certainly has to do with a personal slight against him early in his life.
Okay. Listen, if that's your argument, then that's your argument. But when I saw you repeatedly have the opportunity to explain what you even just said now publicly, and your response was just, I didn't say anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. It was like, dude, like that. That's where I start. And when I'm sorry, dude, but listen, I said yesterday that when you went on that fucking tirade on Twitter, that I was like, he's mad. And this is a little nuts to me right now, but he's mad, and I'm just going to step back and see how this plays out.
He's mad because he was assaulted. That's the part they leave out of every fucking story. But, okay, continue.
Yeah, he was assaulted, but like most racists, instead of blaming the individual, he blamed all black people for what was supposed to be a personal incident. He went on a racist tirade against black people. It's okay to be angry about a personal slight, but keep it personal. Don't start generalizing an entire race of people who had nothing to do with that incident. And by the way, that incident is highly dubious. He was taking a photograph of a black woman, and he was expecting what? You know, no matter what, like when you take a photograph, first of all, what the fuck is he doing? Taking photographs of random black women. You know, like, what's going on in his head? You know, you have to wonder, what is he thinking? And then, when she gets angry at him, he's aghast.
And listen, I said you were assaulted yesterday. No. I never said you weren't assaulted.
I know, I just like to bring it up because a lot of people leave it out of their little articles and whatnot.
But my point is like if you're the way it came across, if you're driving, okay, let's change it to like a thing. Let's say you're driving, and a Mexican dude blows through a light or cuts you off or whatever, and almost causes you to get into an accident.
Right.
And you start screaming, "You fucking asshole Mexican!"
Yeah.
And whatever, you fucking Mexican cocksucker, blah blah blah. It's like, okay, the person in the car with you might go, all right, he's saying a little crazy shit right now, but Jesus Christ, that was dangerous and he's angry. I'm going to let him slide on the anger factor for a few minutes here. He's behind the wheel, whatever. But if you start screaming, that's the problem with that community, is they fucking do this and they all do that. That's when it starts to get confusing, and it starts to sound like, what the fuck does that one dude and his bad action and this one scenario have to do with all those other people?
You're right,
okay?
But let's say everyone in your town, when you pull into your driveway with your freshly dented car from the Mexican, all of your neighbors have dented cars from Mexicans. Maybe that's why everyone goes, fuck, those Mexicans are running into my car all the time.
Yeah, do all of your neighbors and friends have a story about getting slapped by a woman in Times Square?
Absolutely not.
As far as I know.
Ouch. Ouch. That is what we call a gaffe. See, he's just speaking in generalities. Oh, poor niggers are responsible. They have a propensity for violence. They all loot. They all engage in criminality. They're all like that. See? He's a bigot. That is why you are a racist. Because you are generalizing an entire race of people for the actions of just one. That is what we call irrationality. And that is the number one reason for why people become racist. It's a personal slight that they experienced in their life, and then they go off on this racist tirade against the entire group. Okay? Believe me, this is not the first time he got a personal slight from a black person. He grew up in some piece of shit neighborhood, and this is what his partner Opie said about him. When he first met him, he didn't even have a fucking car. The junk heap of a car that he had was on cylinder blocks. So he was living in an impoverished area. No doubt, something happened to him. Got beat up by black guys. Maybe his ex cheated on him with a black guy. But that is the reason for why he hates black people. It has nothing to do with anything else. Nothing to do with crime statistics and all this other bullshit he's talking about.
You're the only one that has that story.
Absolutely not. You're absolutely right. I am the only one, not the only one that has been assaulted by a person of color. That's for sure not the fact. Because
yeah, and how many black people have been assaulted by white people, a gang of white people? So should we then apply the same logic that this fucking rat-faced piece of shit is using and apply it to white people? No. Because that's a generality. It's not fair to say all white people are racist just because some white people are racist and beat up black people. They're not all responsible. Similarly, not all black people are like this. Or if we use Anthony's qualification, not all poor black people are like this either.
Because I know other people that have been. It's not a huge number. I understand that. Which is, why I still go out. And why people go out. If it was a crazy number, everyone would stay in their house. What I'm saying is, I was pissed off. I was assaulted by this woman. There were 4 or 5 other black guys that had come to the scene who instantly were making threatening remarks to me as far as, don't you put your hands on that girl, which, by the way, I wasn't even close to putting my hands on her. And that's when I started with they, because it was this communal thing. All of a sudden, the girl who was smacking me in the fucking head was the victim.
Yeah, I'm so sure he was totally innocent in this incident. I'm sure he didn't say anything racist or derogatory towards this woman, even though he is basically responsible for the whole incident in the first place. What the fuck was he doing photographing a random black woman that he does not know? Like I said, there is something fucked up in his head. There is something wrong with him. He created the situation.
Regardless, and I deemed, I assumed, and as I still do, that it was based on color.
You see that? He has a victim mentality. Even though he is responsible for what happened, he plays the victim. This is what racists do all the time. They always have a victim mentality. They accuse other people of being SJWs, feminists, all kinds of stupid fucking shit. But the second they are slighted in the least bit, they play the victim immediately. They are the biggest pussies in the world. This fucking rat-faced piece of shit was beaten up by a black woman. He is pathetic.
That they were the same color as her and assumed that I was giving her shit. I don't know.
It was a perfectly reasonable assumption given that you were giving her shit. Obviously, you're a racist. Of course you were saying racist shit to her. Who the fuck are you trying to fool?
But that's also where they came from. I was talking about the group of people that I encountered that night. That were had a propensity toward violence.
Propensity towards violence? Did any of them touch him? He didn't say anything like that. He just said that woman assaulted him, supposedly, purportedly, allegedly. So those other guys, he's saying that they have a propensity towards violence. They didn't hit you. They didn't assault you. You're full of shit. He's lying through his fucking teeth. You can find it out. You can detect the lies because of all the contradictions. What a fucking moron.
Can you explain to me?
Yeah.
Can you explain to me why you're the one that said that stuff on Twitter?
Yeah.
You're the one that went on Red Eye and did what you did. You're the one that went on the White Nationalist radio show.
Right.
You're the one that tweeted what you tweeted about Ferguson. You're the one that did those things.
Yeah.
And somehow, I'm the fucking asshole for not going because I didn't call you or handle my thing in an appropriate way. It's like, why is it okay that you did all the things your ethical code told you to do and the way you need to do them, yet when anybody questions it or speaks out against it, they've wronged you, they've scorned you, and they're the fucking asshole.
And by the way, that's true. He went on a white nationalist radio show. This is the double standard that he likes to play. He keeps on trying to hide behind freedom of speech. Why can't I say all this racist stuff? I have freedom of speech. Well, yeah, you do. But freedom of speech has nothing to do with protecting your job. Freedom of speech exclusively protects you from the government. You can't be arrested and you can't be killed for what you're saying. You can be as racist as you want. But it does not protect your job. And it does not protect you from criticism from other people. And it does not protect you from other people being intolerant of your hate speech. It does not protect you from censorship. Like I said, it only protects you from the government. It does not protect you from other citizens. Other citizens can criticize you for your hate speech. They can censor you for your hate speech. They can protest and get you fired from your job for your hate speech. This is the biggest cop-out when they talk about freedom of speech. They use that as a shield to protect themselves from criticism, and it's bullshit. Fuck you, Anthony Cumia.
Well,
as far as I can tell, I just acted with the same vehemence and backbone that you did. It just happened to be a little more directed at you.
Okay. Well,
how am I any more wrong or right or whatever than you were?
Well, I think that's why it's on more of a personal level. But I'll get back to that. Let me get to the initial thing you had asked about. You listed all these things that I was on. I don't have any regrets, or I don't take back anything I say.
No, of course not. He stands behind his racism because he's a racist. Why would he apologize? I will give him credit for that. He's not backing down from being a racist. He's standing by his racist remarks. Some other racists out there, they are pussies in the sense that they'll do the phony, oh, I'm so sorry, just to save their job. I'll give him credit for one thing. He stands behind his bigotry. And, he's a douchebag, but, he stands behind his bigotry. So there you go.
Aside from saying that I did tweet the initial tweets about that girl in anger 5 minutes after, and those were over the top, I understand that. I still feel very passionately about what I did right. About certain issues.
Oh yeah, that was such a great time to talk about social commentary when you were personally slighted. You're going to start blaming all black people for what an individual supposedly, allegedly did. What a fucking retard.
I said if what I was guilty of was tweeting about how angry I was at an individual, and then in the same Twitter thread put social commentary in there, which was very easy to take and mix up and put together and make me look very bad.
He has no one to blame except himself. He made himself look really bad by trying to do social commentary, as he calls it. What I call it is racism, when he was personally slated.
As far as Red Eye goes, I didn't do anything on Red Eye that I wasn't extremely proud of. I talked about why would I be apologetic? I was so sick every day going into the Opie and Anthony show and listening to recordings of meaningless apologies of people that were just trying to keep their job, that I was then going to be that guy that I didn't mean it. I want to apologize to the black community and those that I've offended. Ugh, I could never do that and have an ounce of credibility or self-respect left. So,
but you know what else this shows? It shows that he's never going to change. He is a hopeless cause. He will always be a bitter, angry, racist piece of fucking shit.
What I said on Red Eye, it was all, and what I wrote about Ferguson on Twitter. The reason I can say those things and I shouldn't be crucified for them is because like I said, they're very calculated, very thought out opinions about social situations that are going on today.
Translation, racist vitriol.
I don't write, let's get the fire hoses like we did in 1960. I don't write shit like that.
Of course not, because you're a subversive racist. You're a racist like Bill O'Reilly is. You try to... And in fact, this is a much more insidious and damaging form of racism. At least with the Ku Klux Klan guys who bust out their nooses and they're burning crosses and shit like that, people know that they're insane. People listen to what Bill O'Reilly and this fucking piece of shit has to say. They take them seriously, and that is far more deleterious than saying we need to spray black people with hoses and shit like that.
I write well-measured opinions on very sensitive topics, and I'm very proud of those too. And the reason you catch shit is because what I'm writing about and talking about is a giant social issue. What you did was jump on one of your friends and start fucking shanking him.
I didn't jump on you.
Well, yeah,
you kind of did.
You kind of did, Joe.
I didn't jump. Hold on. There's two things I want to respond to.
Okay.
First of all, I appreciate your fire hose thing, but if you're going to say my pizza parlor analogy was shit, please stop saying the fire hose thing. We can all agree that there are different levels of and ways of being racist. Racism isn't strictly defined by get out the fire hoses and the nooses.
In nowadays, whatever you say about race, you criticize the president, you're put in the same category of racist as if you did have the pizza or the fire hose.
But isn't it just so convenient that the vast majority of people criticizing the president are racist, and the only reason why they are criticizing him is because he's black? Why do you think they're doing this whole birth certificate thing and where he was born and all that other bullshit? They wouldn't have done that with anyone else. They only did it with him because he's black. And they keep calling him a socialist and shit like that because they can't get away with calling him a nigger. Yeah. The vast majority of the people who are criticizing him like that, they're racists.
Well, listen, I don't know if I agree with that, and I think that's also a very different discussion.
It is.
From what we're discussing.
Yeah.
But my point is like I'm allowed to think somebody's racist even though they didn't write "go get fire hoses" on Twitter. Now, I say this a lot about situations and forming my opinions, and my opinion on this situation was also formed carefully. Okay, I didn't knee-jerk respond. Okay, if I was one of these, one of the liberal assholes, as you put it, with a blog that shit on you, I would have been shitting on you the day after it happened, Anthony, and I wasn't. And I don't think I shit on you yesterday. I said repeatedly that I thought of you as a friend and that I was sad that I felt that I had lost a friend because we were at such a different place when it came to a subject like this that I was like, I don't think I can hang out with a guy that I disagree with on this topic this much.
Well, all right, go ahead.
The reason, and by the way, dude, I know we disagree right now.
Yeah.
I'm not yelling at you.
No.
Like I'm speaking passionately. Like,
and
okay.
Still, I know. I'm a fucking guinea, and you're whatever the fuck you are.
No, you're a rat-faced piece of shit, Hick. That's what you are.
And I guess it's two people that talk with their hands and yell a lot.
Okay. Thank you. Yes. So yeah, so when I say I form my opinion carefully, what I'm trying to say is any one of these things isolated, and maybe I didn't do a great job of conveying this yesterday, but any one of these things isolated, I would have went, man, that's fucking unfortunate, but all right, let's see how it plays out, or whatever. When it's all the things together, and quite frankly, my breaking point was when I saw a tweet from you that said, I'm paraphrasing, and I don't know if it was just a tweet you wrote or you were responding to somebody, but you had written, when you break, and it was about the Ferguson kid, when you break the law, you take your life into your own hands. Yeah. And I was just like, that's, number one, painfully not true. It's just not true.
All right.
And number two, it sounds to me now, and then I saw another tweet where somebody wrote to you and said, like, hey, what is your recommendation for the best gun cleaning kit? And you responded with a picture of black gang members. It's like, dude, it just, where there's smoke, there's fire. And there was so much fucking smoke at that point.
First of all, all right, I hear you. But again, the fucking black gang members. Now, if I really wanted to piss people off, I'd have put a picture of fucking Michael Brown on the tweet. But I put gang members that obviously were not the best people in society as that pic.
Yeah, but isn't it just so convenient that he used black gang members instead of white gang members? Why? Because he's a racist.
The other tweet about when you break the law, you take the life in your hands. I'm talking about everybody, and I'm talking about the snowball cascading reaction that can happen with something as simple as shoplifting. The second you decide to break the law, it could end in you or someone else being dead. It's just the nature of crime and how people feel about it. I wasn't saying that if you steal something, you should be shot and killed. I was saying that if you decide to steal something, you better think about the future consequences. And by the future, I mean a couple of seconds, minutes, hours, a week, whatever it is. When you decide to do that, you are literally, you could be taking your life into your hands.
I don't actually believe that was his point. I believe he was making an attack against black people and trying to victim blame them. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt for the moment and try to analyze exactly what the implications of what he's saying are. He's basically saying, the implication, he's trying to say that, no, we shouldn't kill all black people who engage in crimes, but you should keep in your mind that your life could be at stake if you do this. That is a horrible precedent to establish. That is a horrible precedent to establish. And the reason is because then there is no nuance to crime. And instead of actually discouraging crime, you're actually encouraging people to engage in much worse crime. To help illustrate my point, check out this video.
In Society 4, all criminals are executed. Assessing this rule, we can see it's flawed, but not only because disproportionate punishment is unjust. Under this rule, those who commit minor crime have nothing to lose but all to gain by killing witnesses, even suspected witnesses. Murder can't increase the consequences for them. It can only inflate their chances of evading execution. In this way, execution for all crime actually encourages minor crime to escalate. This gives us a reason to tailor punishment to the severity of the offence, especially within the category of more serious crime. For example, although rape is a horrific form of abuse, punishing murder more severely will tend to deter rapists from also killing their victims. As before, with indiscriminate execution, the rapist loses nothing, but might gain, by also committing murder.
Okay, so now let's take that concept and apply it to what Anthony, the rat-faced piece of shit, said. Now, people don't engage in crime because they want to. At least impoverished blacks. They don't engage in crime because they want to. They do it out of desperation because they have no other choice. They are so desperate that they are willing to break the law at a chance of benefit. Now, the problem with what Anthony is saying is that you are basically instituting the same severe punishment for murdering someone as you would if they were selling Lucy cigarettes, as is the case of, I believe his name was Garner in New York City. He was killed by the police for selling Lucy cigarettes. Now, if you instill in their mind, and in Anthony's logic, he believes that if you instill in people's mind, that would discourage them from committing crime. My contention is, no, it won't. No, it won't, because they are desperate. They are desperate to make any kind of money at all. So if they are faced knowing that selling Lucy cigarettes would result in their own death, and killing a rich guy and stealing his money could also result in death, the consequences for both actions are the same. However, the rewards are not the same. The rewards of killing the rich guy and stealing his money and getting away with it are much, much higher. Therefore, he is incentivized to commit the more horrific crime. After all, what does he have to lose? I mean, if I sell Lucy cigarettes, I have much less to gain, but I have an equal amount to lose as killing the rich guy who has a ton of money. I can steal his money. That is the horrible precedent that you establish by trying to inculcate in people's minds that this is what's going to happen if you break the law, that you're going to take your life into your own hands. That's why it's not only immoral, it would break down society. That is a major reason for why we punish crimes commensurate to the severity of the crime. So that's all I want to say. I just wanted to refute this jackass because he was worth refuting. He masquerades logic. He masquerades racism as logic, and that's a very, very dangerous thing to do. That's what Bill O'Reilly does, and that's why they have so many supporters among racist people, because it's a very appealing form of racism. This type of subversive racism, because unfortunately you can get away with spouting this stuff on the airwaves, but once in a while the true colors come out, and that's why this fucker got fired, because the true colors came out in a fit of rage and anger. Who's the real Anthony Cumia? The calm, collected one, trying to support his racist agenda with facts and statistics while leaving out all the other facts and statistics? Or is it the angry one that was going on a racist, vitriolic diatribe? That's all I gotta say, guys. This is Enigma Hood signing off.